from WSFA 12, your legal questions answered. This is Law Call.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Law Call. I'm Kim Wanous, and we're glad you're staying up with us tonight. Few topics generate more bitterness than a dispute over child custody or child support, so it's important to understand what your rights are. How is child custody determined? Can you deny visitation if the other parent isn't keeping up with his or her child support payments? How does child support impact your taxes? Well, if you've got a question about child custody or any family issue related to it, give us a call right now. We're going to take your questions live. The number here is 334-420-WSFA. And remember, you can email your questions to us as well. The address is lawcall@WSFA.com. Now, before we get to your phone calls tonight, we'll look ahead and see what's on the docket for the next few weeks. Next week on Law Call, it'll be Christmas Eve, of course, and we will celebrate the season with a special Christmas Law Call. There will be some serious issues discussed, and we'll have some holiday fun, too. Then on the 31st, ring in the new year with us. You can call us with your questions about driving under the influence. And then January the 7th, our program will be all about injuries and what you can do if you get hurt. You can always check, of course, on our upcoming topics by going to WSFA.com. Click on Law Call, and you will see our schedule. Tonight, we're talking about child custody and other issues related to that. Here to take your calls live, our lead attorney, Alan Woodard. Good to see you, Alan.
Kim, great to see you, and I'm really fired up about that Christmas show. You know, Kenneth
It's fun, a lot of fun.
Yeah, Kenneth is going to be able to be with us. He just settled a multi-million-dollar case over in Georgia, so he's got the time out of his schedule to come do that. I know it's going to be a great time, and I know we're going to talk about child custody and divorce tonight, but it can't be all bad. My good friends Leon and Carolyn Golson in Fort Deposit just celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary.
Good for them.
And anybody that can do 50 years show there is hope for all of us. And with us tonight, I'm thoroughly excited, is Judy Barganier. And Judy, anybody who can make 50 years in this society today has got to be doing something.
Absolutely. My hat's off to them. Hope they don't ever need me.
Well, it's good to have you back with us.
Thank you.
And we are always glad to have you with us.
Glad to be here.
This is your specialty, family law.
Yes,
and,
it is.
you can tackle any question that's related to it. So
I'll do my
I
best.
think we have our first caller, so we're going to jump right into it and get things going with Reginald. Reginald, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right.
All right, I hope we can help you. What's your question?
Well, I'd like to know what options I might have as far as trying to figure out how I could get some representative attorney to represent me in a case where I was granted visitation rights.
Mm-hmm.
And this took place in July of '96. Now, however, I got a chance to visit my children one weekend after that order was given, but the mother kidnapped them, and then I've not seen them since July of '96.
Well,
Now, every time I get close to figuring out where they are, she'll pack up and move again. She does not know right now that I know where she is because I have another address and I have another phone number and everything. However, I've not made an attempt to contact them because I'm trying to figure out what else I could do without giving her an opportunity to run again. But she's the order took place in Mississippi, but she's in Tennessee.
all right, Reginald, tough story, tough case.
Yeah, very difficult. And Reginald, I didn't quite catch where your divorce was finalized.
In Mississippi, I think.
In Mississippi.
Yes.
And generally, Reginald, what you've got to do is generally go back to the court where your divorce was entered. And Judy, before we started the show tonight, we were talking about how people that have done their own legwork, like Reginald, they're generally going to be a step ahead of other folks.
100% correct. Yes, that's the best thing you could do is go ahead and have as much information as possible. But, Reginald, you really need to get with an attorney, particularly in Mississippi. You can go on websites, you can go to the state bar, and you could call the Alabama State Bar. They might be able to help you find somebody in Mississippi, but you really need a good attorney that's well-versed in family law to help you understand and get a case going. For you to just track her down, that's one thing, but you need to have a case because she can't deny you visitation with your child. If there's an order that allows you visitation, you're entitled to exercise that visitation. I encourage you to do that.
And Reginald's story is probably not that rare, right?
That's unfortunate. It's not that rare. A lot of parents, unfortunately, when they go through a divorce, they feel empowered and they will use the children to kind of get back at the other parent. That's the absolute worst thing that anybody can do, but it happens all too often.
All right.
But what he needs to do is take her back for contempt.
He does.
That'd be right.
He does.
Yeah. Reginald, I'm licensed over in Mississippi. If you can't find anybody to help you through the Alabama bar or the Mississippi bar, give me a call. I know a bunch of lawyers over there, and maybe I can get you hooked up.
All right.
Sorry about that.
All right, let's go next to Jim, who is on the line here in Montgomery. Hi, Jim. How can we help you?
Yes, sir. I was wondering, in the state of Alabama, is child support paid through a certain age or through high school graduation?
Yes and no. There's an interesting twist about that. Generally, child support is paid up to the age of majority, which in Alabama, I believe, is 19. But there's a very neat trick about that, about whether you can get child support on over to college. Isn't that right, Judy? As far as if you don't have it on your divorce to begin with, you've got to come. Let me let you tell him.
Before the child is 19, well, let me just, Jim, first your question was that, do you pay child support through a certain age? Yes, child support is paid through the child, up until the child reaches the age of majority, which is 19. There is child support, but it's post-minority support because they're not a child any longer, beyond the age of 19 if children go on to college. It's called bailiff support. But I'm not sure that's exactly what your question was, but when children reach the age of majority, there should be no more child support. But it doesn't stop automatically. You have to take some action to have that stop.
And the trick I was talking about was if you don't have that written into your divorce decree, don't you have to go back and file that before the child hits 18?
Absolutely. Okay. Before the child turns 19. Okay. Not on the day the child turns 19, before the child turns 19.
And does the child have to show some aptitude for college?
There's a whole laundry list of what, you don't just go back and say, I want post-minority support. You have to show the child's ability, the aptitude for going to college. Generally, the parents have to have gone to college. It's not an automatic thing.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's go to LaShawn, who is waiting here in Montgomery with her question.
My question is, my son is about to turn 18 through his father, who hasn't paid child support.
And I missed that. One more time.
Okay, my son, who is about to turn 18, can he sue his father, who hasn't paid child support?
Yeah, I can't quite hear what she's saying.
I think she's asking whether or not the child at age 18 can sue his father for not paying child support.
Yes.
The answer is no. Your child has to be 19 before he's actually an adult and has the right to sue anybody. But is the child support paid through Alabama? In Alabama?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not sure which county you're in. Where are you? Are you in Montgomery County?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You need to call the district attorney's office or DHR and ask, well, at the district attorney's office, 832-2550, and ask for the child support division and see if they can put you in touch with somebody to help you out.
Okay. Hope that works for you, LaShawn. Well, as we mentioned earlier, we also take your email questions here at Law Call. Our inbox gets full by this hour on a Sunday night, so let's check in with Attorney Manish Patel, who's in the email center, with our first question of the evening. Hi, Manish.
Hey, Kim. Our first question tonight comes from Shannon in Union Springs, who writes that she was married in and lived in Georgia and has now moved to Alabama and wants to know if she can file for a divorce here in Alabama. Well, Shannon, you didn't state exactly when you moved, but if you've lived in Alabama for at least 6 months preceding the date that you filed for divorce, then you could file here in Alabama. Of course, keep in mind that your husband could possibly file also in Georgia, because if that's where you lived and that's where you were married, then your marital home and probably all of your properties there. So that's something that you should consider. And if you're out there and have an email question, please send it to us, lawcall@WSFA.com. Back to you, Kim.
All right, Manish, remember, you don't have to wait for the program to get your question answered. If you email a question, watch for it in your inbox. You'll get a response whenever Manish gets to it this week, okay? We're going to take a quick break. If you've got a question about child support, child custody, or any other related issue, our number is 420-WSFA. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes. Call us now.
A brand new 24/7 weather network, WSFA 12 Weather Plus. Get severe weather information and the Storm Team 12 7-day forecast for your community.
Why wait for weather on the 8th when you can get your local forecast 24/7 on WSFA 12 Weather Plus?
WSFA 12 News and Bell South partner to bring you a survival guide for severe weather right at your fingertips. Check out the community section of your Bell South phone book for information to help you weather any storm. WSFA 12 News. Commitment to complete weather coverage.
Santa Claus is coming to Montgomery. Help WSFA 12 track his journey here. Go to the Eastdale Mall Customer Service Center today and pick up your Santa tracking map. Follow Santa's route all day Christmas Eve with WSFA 12's meteorologists. Check in with Santa as he makes his way from the North Pole on your very own map. Visit the Eastdale Mall Customer Service Center now through Christmas Eve. Help us track Santa's journey from the North Pole to Montgomery. WSFA 12, coverage, community commitment.
Do you feel shut out because you've been denied Social Security or SSI? Donna A. Bland can help you open the right doors to win your case. With 16 years at Social Security and 10 years in private practice, she knows what it takes to win. Experience counts. Call Donna Bland for your free case evaluation.
When it's time to sell, how will you know how much to ask? When to say no? Then when to say yes? For real estate advice you trust, look to the Star, Century 21 Southern Star. Don't give it away. Call or log on now. Century 21 Southern Star.
1/3 bigger for the same low price. Church's new bigger and better 99-cent chicken sandwich. 1/3 bigger all-white meat. 1/3 more of Church's big juicy flavor. And 1/3 more to enjoy. And it gets better. Now you can have your choice, bold and spicy, or our delicious original. That's right, Church's new bigger and better chicken sandwich comes in your choice of spicy or original. Both 1/3 bigger, but still only 99 cents each. Or get 10 pieces for only $6.99. Gotta have that crunch. Church's.
This is WSFA 12's Law Call with your host, Kim Wanous, attorney Alan Woodard, and attorney Kenneth Ingram Jr. And now, Manish Patel answers your emails live. Your rights, your calls, live. WSFA 12's Law Call.
Welcome back in, everybody. Our special guest tonight, Montgomery attorney Judy Barganier, who specializes in family law. If you've got a question about our topic, 420-WSFA. Let's go back to the phones now. Adam is on the line here in Montgomery. Hi, Adam. Thanks for calling.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Adam.
How you doing?
Yeah, bring it, Adam. What's going on?
Not too much. I got a question for y'all.
All right.
My sister's kids are with her husband, and they're supposedly in either Texas or Louisiana, but recently there's been information that they've left the country, and he's really bad into drugs, and it's just a bad thing. And we're just saying if there's any way we can get them all back.
Two quick questions. Where was her divorce done?
In Texas, I believe.
Out in Texas. And when you say left the country, you talking about left the USA?
Yes.
Oh goodness, terrible, terrible situation. We were going to talk about this before when Reginald called in about Mississippi and Tennessee. And there's a federal statute that applies, but Judy, what do you do if, we were just talking about a friend of mine whose wife took his child to New Zealand. What in the world do you do?
Well, my first question, Adam, would be whether or not the children already had passports. Do you know that?
I had no idea. It's my sister's kids.
Okay. Well, I'd find out that first, and I don't mean to cut you off, but we have very little time. But find out whether or not they had passports, because both parents have to sign for a child to be able to get a passport. So if they don't have a passport, then the likelihood that they're actually out of the country is going to be a lot less. The next thing I do, and I hire a lawyer. You've got to get somebody to get in there and go ahead and get a court action going, so that you have the power of the court behind you to do things that you can't do on your own.
And in this case, Adam is here in Montgomery, but everything
Gotta
happened
go to
in Texas.
Texas, yeah. There are wonderful websites now where you can go online and do a search for an attorney, but you really want to find somebody that that doesn't just dabble in family law. You really need somebody that knows what they're doing. They practice family law for a large percentage of their practice.
Adam will wish you well. Let's go to Smith Station where Rhett is standing by. Hi, Rhett.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you tonight?
Good, thank you.
Thank you. My question has to do with when a marriage deteriorates and both parties seek counsel and there are children involved. Usually it seems that both sides, the attorneys say do not leave the house. The advice is don't leave the house. And you've got two individuals that are at an impasse that are getting same advice and in a very difficult situation. My question is, how negatively do you impact your own situation if you do, in fact, decide to take up another residence?
That's a good question.
Well, actually, I've said many times that I wish that I just could make a tape recording of the answer to that question, because a lot of people call and they say, I've left my house, have I abandoned my family? No, you haven't. So don't worry about that. Whenever there are two people living in a house and things deteriorate, like you said, in addition to going to attorneys, you probably want to go to a counselor as well. I wouldn't leave the house, if that's your specific question, if custody is an issue. Because if you leave your house and you leave the children there, then you weaken your case for custody to go back and say, well, I'm the one that should have custody. Then the question becomes, well, if you're the one that's supposed to have custody or should have custody, why did you leave your children with the other parent? So you weaken your case a little bit. I wouldn't leave the house until you actually have a case going and you've talked to an attorney and you get really specific advice as to your own case. There's really not one answer for that question.
And the attorneys on opposing sides are probably going to recommend the same advice to each. So how do you get a couple...
If it's a good lawyer.
How do you get a couple to reach that ceasefire on behalf of the children?
Well, you have to really plead to the parents to think about what's best for the children. And unfortunately, like I said earlier, a lot of parents don't. They use the children, put the children square in the middle. That's the worst thing parents can do. What we've learned from the experts, those of us who try to listen, the experts tell us it's not divorce that essentially hurts our children, it's conflict. And you can have conflict in a marriage, conflict in a divorce, or conflict after a divorce. So what the parents want to do is reduce the conflict for the children.
And these can be long-running battles.
Unfortunately so.
Okay, we'll get back to the phones in a minute. Let's go back to our email center. Manish Patel's got another question.
Thanks, Kim. Our next email tonight comes from Patricia here in Montgomery, who writes that she has joint custody of her child with the child's father. However, the father has not seen the child in several years as he's lived overseas, and that since that time he's gotten remarried and has a wife and another child, and that they were going to move back from overseas here, and she's concerned that he is going to seek some type of custody modification or visitation rights. Well, yeah, Patricia, definitely, if he comes back, and it depends upon whether or not you have a previous order that states out what the visitation plan is. You said that you had joint custody, and I expect that that's going to be joint custody with yourself being primary caregiver or the residents being primarily with you, which would make you somewhat in charge depending upon what it said in the original decree. As far as visitation, if you feel that the children have not seen the father in that great of a period of time, if it's been that long and if they don't know him and you're worried about visitations as far as being negative towards the child, then what you should do is file some type of a modification as far as the visitation. And if you're out there watching, we didn't get to your email tonight, please send it to us, lawcall@WSFA.com. Kim, back to you.
All right, Manish, thank you very much. Now, Teresa, we're going to ask you to hold on just for a couple of minutes. We've got to take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this.
Five minutes, please.
Wardrobe ready.
Scenery in place.
Lights standing by. Q1.
We're at Places.
And waiting for you, the Alabama Shakespeare Festival presents James and the Giant Peach, running from January 13th to February 10th. Get your tickets now by calling 1-800-841-4ASF or visit us online at asf.net. The Alabama Shakespeare Festival, where great stories come to play.
Days before Christmas and the elves are all beat, so to Capitol Filmworks Santa goes for his holiday treats. New fine art holiday cards are perfect for all. Framed photo enlargements will look great on Aunt Susie's wall. Memory maker bracelets and keychains make beautiful gifts, while photo restorations help complete his list. 12-month photo calendars are gifts all year round. Now you see why Santa visits one of our 2 locations in town.
Capitol Filmworks, the answer to Santa's holiday wishes, with 2 locations, 909 Forest Avenue and the Shop Cityscape.
Over the years, you've seen many signs along the Troy Highway leading you to Sykes & Conn's Country Mall. Yes, those signs have changed a lot over the years. We've added some and taken some away, but one thing has remained the same: the best quality brands at the most affordable prices anywhere. From shoes and boots to casual clothes, rugged wear, and blue jeans, nobody beats Sykes & Conn's for quality and price. Get on the Troy Highway today and follow those famous signs to Sykes & Conn's Country Mall.
Confused by all the wild claims and car dealer ads? Cut through the clutter. Discover King Honda in Auburn. Dollar for dollar, Honda is consistently the best product out there. Dare King to make Honda affordable to you. Accords, save thousands. Civics, save thousands at King Honda. All the great Honda models, save thousands. King Honda, King Honda, King Honda. Save thousands and step up to Honda. King Honda, King Honda, King Honda.
Don't take the drumstick. Don't take the drumstick. Another drumstick? Magic bucket. Wow.
Pick up a bucket of the Colonel's Drumsticks and Thighs, the juiciest, most flavorful chicken. Now 7 pieces are only $4.99. Or get a 14-piece Drumsticks and Thighs bucket for just $9.99. Get more flavor to savor at KFC.
Now, if you have a question for our guest attorney tonight, Judy Barganier, and you don't make it through for the program, you can always call her tomorrow morning or anytime during the week at 271-7110. And, of course, our guys are available, too, here in Montgomery at 273-0808 or toll-free at 877-529-1411. All right, we got folks waiting, and Teresa, thank you for hanging on during that break. Let's see what's on your mind tonight. What's your question? How can we help you?
Yes, I was calling to try to find out. My ex-husband has a certain amount that he's supposed to pay for child support every month, and he's like over $12,000 in arrearage.
Wow.
It's a 2-part question. The first part is, I was told that I could get his income tax to go towards that, and what did I need to do to get it? And the second part was, I understand that the arrearage accrues interest, and am I eligible for that interest, or does that go to the state, or what?
All right.
Yeah. The quick answer, Teresa, is, and I'm assuming that, you know, your divorce was here somewhere in Alabama, but the quick answer is and of course, Judy, we were talking about the difference. See, down in South Alabama, a lot of places, you got to go to DHR because they have attorneys on staff to handle child support. But here in Montgomery County and Autauga and the like, you go to the district attorney. But I would think the very first step is to make sure that's in place for 12 grand, because a lot of judges, if you get that guy in front and he owes 12 grand, they're going to put him in the hooscow right quick.
They probably should.
And
if he's spending any money on any discretionary things, we have a judge will ask people if they have cable TV. And if they have cable TV and they're not paying their child support, they generally hear the sound of handcuffs. But in Montgomery, the district attorney's office enforces the child support, but DHR is the one that kind of initiates it. So, you know, check with both. They both do a really good job. But the answer to Teresa's questions are the income tax. I would get with DHR, and they'll send a notice to the IRS, and they'll attach the income tax. And as far as the interest does accrue 12% per year by law. It cannot be waived by the court. You can't do anything with it. It's there. It's a judgment. And the child support becomes a judgment every month that it's due with interest.
So at her situation right now, $12,000 behind, she needs to get a hold of somebody at VHR.
She does. And the child support with the interest will go to Teresa.
Okay, good. Hope that helps you, Teresa. Let's go to Verbena, where Cindy is on the line. Hi, Cindy.
Hi, how you doing this
We're
evening?
doing great. How can we help you?
I just recently, this past June, here in Chilton County, got a divorce from my ex, and he is already over $2,000 behind on child support. When I approached my attorney in the Chilton County courts about filing suit against my ex-husband, they informed me that I've got to pay $300 up front to go after him for his arrearages. My question for y'all is, for a woman in my situation who is disabled and raising 2 children on her own, where in Alabama can we get help to go after these men who are not paying their child support? Because personally, if I had $300 to hand the court system, I wouldn't have to be going after him.
Therein lies the rub.
Let me just answer that real quickly for you, Cindy. It sounds like to me that was a filing fee, the $300. Go to the circuit court clerk and ask if you can fill out an affidavit of hardship. And if you qualify, they may be able to waive that court filing fee for you. And then you can fill out your own petition for contempt.
Okay, there you go.
And a lot of places, it's basically you pay $25 and DHR will open a file. But the problem is, speed is not an element. Speed is not an element. And unfortunately, if he already owes $2,000, what you got to remember is that when you get a divorce decree, a judge has signed that. And a lot of judges, they do not like it when you violate their orders. And probably with that, they want to put people in jail that violate their orders, I would hope. So with that, I'd probably just say, take them to court.
All right. As usual, when we have this topic, the time really goes quickly. We apologize to folks who didn't get through, but we have your numbers, and you will hear from somebody. Judy, always a pleasure to have you here, and folks really respond to your advice, and it's good again tonight. And Alan, have a good week. We'll do it Christmas Eve together.
Get Kenneth in here, and we'll have a great New Year's Eve.
That's right. We'll look for you Christmas Eve. We'll have a little fun. Take care. We'll see you then.
Weather changes all the time, but one thing that doesn't change is the Weatherline's free 24/7 phone access. If it's not news time and you're nowhere near the internet, but you need to know what the weather will be, you can always call 323-7000. The Weatherline gives you up-to-date forecasts, plus the current time and temperature, all free all the time. The Weatherline is sponsored by Alagasco Natural Gas. Take comfort in it. The Weatherline. Call 323-7000.
At Don Duncan's American Tire and Automotive, we believe that taking care of customers is the American way. With over 75 years combined experience, we take care of you and your business's complete brake, engine, tire, transmission, and performance needs. From state-of-the-art alignment and computer diagnostics to VIP services, including vehicle pickup and free towing with easy financing, we are here to take care of you. So visit Don Duncan's American Tire and Automotive at 408 Madison Avenue or their new location at 3232 Atlanta Highway.
That saves you more. Check Chambers.
Check Chambers for exclusive lane-action leather sofas, love seats, chairs, and accessories. Save on Broyhill, Pulaski, Kincaid, Serta, Hooker, and Universal. Always, always. Check Chambers.
With every brand name under the moon. For every home, for every room. Check Chambers. Woo!
Why Collier Ford?
If you want a deal.
If you want a deal.
Come to Collier.
Come to Collier.
around over 50 years. They have a great selection, and their low overhead means lower prices.
If you want to save on new or used, come on, come to Collier.
That means lower payments. Come on, let's go to Collier Ford.
Come on, come to Collier.
Merry Christmas, Geneva, from WSFA 12 News.
The following program is a paid advertisement for Direct Buy, America's